I remember we were in New York, and John Paul Jones set a good screen on me, and I actually popped my eardrum, ruptured my eardrum just on a screen.
Your eardrum?
Yeah, it was a really good screen by JJ. She's a tremendous player, but I think that just kind of speaks to the physicality of the league. It's just, she kind of got me in the right spot.
The WNBA keeps digging itself deeper into more problems. This time, Caitlin Clark is calling out the league for rigging the WNBA playoffs finals. In a shocking twist of events, the League Rookie of the Year is pointing fingers at the league, and it has caused a huge buzz throughout the sporting world. Come with us as we take you all the way to Indiana for this one. It promises to be huge. Did you watch Game 5 of the WNBA playoff final? The series deciding Game 5 between the Minnesota Lynx and the New York Liberty set the record as the most watched WNBA playoffs final game in history of women's basketball. But we are not talking about how involved people were. No, we are talking about something more serious that has fans questioning the future of women's sports.
Lady Liberty shining bright tonight after the New York Liberty get their first WNBA championship in history. This is one of the original franchises of the WNBA. Welcome into our countdown set here in Brooklyn. LaChonda Robinson, Andrea Carter, Chinea Gumake, and Carolyn Peck with you. Of course it had to be an overtime game, right? The way this final series has gone. I mean, this was a battle. Knockdown, drag out. Both teams gave it everything they had, but in the end, it was the New York Liberty. What put them over the top in your mind, Chinea?
Well, to me, it was after the stars neutralized each other.
Yeah.
If you think about Fee and K-Max, Stewie and Sabrina, then who left, was standing? It was literally Jonquel Jones. Jonquel Jones has been the most consistent member of the New York Liberty. 18 points. When your center is giving you 50, 40, 90, but more importantly, you guys, I had the pleasure and privilege of playing with her.
Yeah.
At that time, she was a most improved player.
There was a shocking moment in the game that went viral, and Caitlin Clark is calling the league's attention to that incident. The incident had many people scratching their heads, trying to come with an explanation. Let's break it down for you. In the final moment of regulation time, Breanna Stewart was allegedly fouled and awarded a free throw by the referee, which she successfully scored. That decision forced the game into overtime, but the controversial play attracted the attention of fans, analysts, and players, including Caitlin Clark, and sparked an intense debate. The reason is that many felt the call was a bad decision made by the officials. But are they right? Was the game rigged? A closer look at the pivotal moment shows that the New York Liberty player took at least 5 stutter steps and didn't put the ball down until she arrived at the paint. She literally catches the ball near the three-point line. However, no travel was called. That decision late in such a huge game was shocking and had players like Caitlin Clark literally angry at how low the standard of officiating in the WNBA is and how it can affect the integrity of the league. It also raises questions about the selection process that brought the referees into the league in the first place. Was it by merit? Or were some bureaucratic measures used to select people to fit certain political ideology of the elites? Talking about the decision to award free throws to Breanna Stewart, after watching the footage leading to the foul call several times, we have our opinion on the referees. However, we leave you to be the judge. I mean, Stewart gets the ball and takes a cross-country run without a travel call. Then a closer look at the supposed contact shows that the guard from Minnesota Lynx didn't even touch her at all. Makes you wonder how the referees could have made such a call to award a free throw in the first place. But it wasn't just Caitlin Clark that disagreed with this decision. NBA legend LeBron James spoke on X, formerly known as Twitter platform, that it was a foul, and that players should be allowed to dictate the outcome of such an important game. The shocking part is that the referees didn't even overturn their decision after seeing several replays of the footage from multiple angles. Even more shocking was the reason they gave for not overturning the decision, claiming that the Minnesota Lynx guard wasn't in a legal guarding position, whatever that means. Honestly, we don't what is more shocking, the foul call or the reason that the call stood. But this is not the first time questionable officiating in the WNBA has sparked a debate about the integrity of the WNBA. Do you remember the eye-poking incident between Dejanai Carrington and Caitlin Clark? The incident, which took place in the first quarter as Carrington struck Clark in her left eye while trying to block a pass from Clark to her teammate Lexi Hull. Initially, the incident was seen as a minor one by the fans, but slow-motion footage showed Carrington bending her hand while coming down from the block attempt, pointing her nails in Clark's face. However, no foul was called on the play by the referee. The decision to not halt play by the referee caused lots of backlash from fans online. But that wasn't all that Caitlin had to endure this season. Frankly, some of the decisions were outright ridiculous. Through the season, her games were littered with controversial calls. From not calling obvious fouls to blatant bullying, it was speculated by most fans that the referees appear to overlook whatever is done to the Indiana Fever point guard, and she is now calling the WNBA out on them. And you can't blame her. The referees constantly overlooked aggressive plays and outright manhandling of the rookie by veteran players, as if they wanted her to pay her dues to the older players. A moment most fans can't forget happened during a heated match between Indiana Fever and the Los Angeles Aces. Clark received a technical foul for what looked like a normal exchange with the referee after he ignored an obvious foul on Clark after a drive to the basket. There was an uproar from fans as they claimed the referees were intentionally disrupting her momentum. Another controversial moment came in the game between the New York Liberty and Indiana Fever. Clark put on a show, dropping three-pointers from every corner of the court. Suddenly, 3 offensive fouls were called against within 5 minutes. All of them looked suspicious, and it added fuel to the narrative that Clark is being targeted by the officials. But there is more. You see, after the controversial calls, the officials were caught off mic, making questionable statements about the way Caitlin Clark played. After that particular game against the New York Liberty, a referee was heard saying in his mic, "She need to adjust to the pros, whatever that means." This statement further angered fans, as it seems the refs were targeting her. And as more people observed these calls, a pattern emerged. Whenever Caitlin Clark was settling into her rhythm, a phantom call was made by the referee to disrupt her. It happened game after game. It didn't matter if it was moving screens, hand checks, or offensive fouls. The refs appeared determined to send her to the bench. At first, the reason for these obvious wrong calls by the referee was suspected to be bad officiating, which happens in any sport. However, as the season progressed, it became clear that the refs used different metrics to officiate Clark from other players. Even older players such as Diana Taurasi and Brianna Stewart seemed to get away with more contact and less stringent calls. So why is Caitlin Clark being singled out? Is her being a rookie the reason? Or is there more to the story? Some fans, especially those who have watched the league for a long time, and analysts speculated that the WNBA may have an agenda against the Indiana Fever rookie sensation. As more speculation followed, some fans began saying that jealousy could be the main reason behind the way she's being treated. There is no denying that Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise in the WNBA has been short of superlatives. Therefore, some analysts and sports personalities pointed out that it is possible some players, coaches, and officials are not pleased with the attention and aura Clark carries when she plays. There is even a theory flowing around that her remarkable rise threatens the established hierarchy within the league. So instead of her being welcomed, she is being pushed out, and the referees are used to do the dirty work against her. It is obvious that her confident style of play ruffles feathers within the league. She isn't afraid of doing a little trash talking, and her bravery had made her a polarizing figure. So are the refs thinking the same way about Clark? Do they think she is too brave for a rookie instead of being impartial towards everyone? The truth is that only the refs know the answer to that one. However, some people in the media has come to her defense, including popular ESPN analysts Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe. Stephen even spoke the mind of most fans by claiming that there is a conspiracy against Clark. He also said that the WNBA is afraid of her success and are trying to checkmate her. Shannon Sharpe also voiced his opinion. The former NFL tight end said Clark is being held to a different standard than her peers. However, he said that trying to humble Clark is not the way. In addition, the number supports the conspiracy claim. Caitlin Clark led the league for personal fouls called against her. She was near the top of the league in technical fouls, a rare achievement for a rookie. When compared to other WNBA players, you can make a case for her being targeted. For instance, Alyssa Thomas and Aja Wilson have far less numbers. Going back to the final series, the controversy has taken the attention from a game that was otherwise enjoyable and entertaining. As the debate continues, many fans believe that if this was in the NBA, the referees will face immediate consequences. For instance, they may be fired before the game is concluded. The nature of the call and the impact it had on such an important game has once again raised concerns about the quality of referees in the WNBA. Worse is that the game was eventually won by New York Liberty, giving them their first championship win in their history. So the impact of this controversial decision will be remembered for years, and the fiery statement of Coach Cherry Reeves showed just how impactful that single decision was on the entire game. Her outspoken post-game reaction clearly described how she felt, and seeing the debate raging after the game, it is clear that many people share her sentiment that the game was stolen from the Lynx. In response, reporters asked the coach for the New York Liberty, Sandy Brondello, for her thoughts on the accusations made by Reeves. She simply laughed at the question and downplayed the incident, saying she thought the officiating was pretty fair. However, her statement triggered laughter from those in the room. However, Brondello remained resolute in her belief that New York Liberty played well and would have won the game irrespective of the controversial decision. However, the reactions of the journalists may suggest that may not be the case. Do you think the WNBA Finals was rigged? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments section. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and smash the notification bell.